Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. A woman asked me about drop biscuits and I'm going to explain them to you. Now, the recipes at one time had ratios to them. Like if you go to make a cake, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 ratio. Muffins have a basic ratio 2, which is different than the cake. Scones have a different ratio, the same as well as biscuits, muffins. All of these have different ratios to them. Women knew the ratios, and then they could flavor them or add dry ingredients to them and play with them, but they had to keep that flour and liquid balanced, and that was very important. Now we're going to talk about dropped biscuits because I meant to make drop biscuits this morning, but instead I ended up making biscuits. Don't ask how I pulled some of these things off, okay? So I'm going to read a basic recipe and then you'll have an idea how it works. This is very basic when I'm reading. It's 2 cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 6 tablespoons of shortening, and 2/3 of a cup of milk. Now, if you wish to make herbed biscuits, when you have the dry ingredients together before you add the shortening, go into your pantry and pick up whatever seasonings you want. It doesn't hurt. Now, if you want to make sweet biscuits, you add some sugar to this, and you can add raisins or dates, dried fruit, or whatever you want. All right? This is how it works. And you can make biscuits in any direction. Now, if you wish to make dropped biscuits that are herbed, pick the herbs that you like. And I'm using dry herbs, so it doesn't matter. But if you have fresh herbs or dried, and what you do is you mix them into the flour, the salt and baking powder, and you sit there and you smell it. If you can't smell it, it's not strong enough for you, add more until you can smell it to your flavor that says, yes, this is correct. Then you add the shortening in it. Now, if you don't want to use shortening, you can use butter. Or if you want a combination, you can sit there and add shortening and butter, equal amounts. You can get away with it. But the difference between the biscuit, because that would make a biscuit, or a drop biscuit, the difference is when you make regular biscuits, you're going to add 2/3 of a cup of milk. That's just for biscuits. But when you want drop biscuits, you add 1 full cup of milk. So if you want buttermilk dropped biscuits, increase that to 1 cup. That's the difference. That's all there is. Basic, as basic as you can get, and you can go in so many different directions. So the lady who wants to make dropped biscuits, I'll give you the rest, a simple plain one. You'll add 2 cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon salt. Pick whatever seasonings you want and put them in your biscuits, that flour mixture, and smell it. I put a tablespoon of Italian in mine this morning with dried tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes. Smell it, and if it hits your nose, or if you want to put some cheese in, you can put some cheese in it, whatever, until the smell is exactly what you want. Then you cut in the shortening or the butter or the combination of butter and shortening. When I mean cut it in, it literally means a pastry cutter or 2 knives, and you cut the shortening until it's into fine little pieces. Because if you sit there and don't have that shortening, you'll have a flat biscuit, and what you want is that layer of shortening, then the dry ingredients, and it builds up like that, and that's where you get that lift, as well as the baking powder that you add. Then you add 1 full cup of milk and work it with a fork, and then grease your cookie sheet. Because they're dropped biscuits, there's more liquid in, they have a better chance of burning, so you want to make sure that they don't burn. You're also going to cook it at the same temperature that you cook your biscuits at, and you sit there and take 2 spoons and you drop them whatever size you want. I like big mounds, so I'll make a bigger one, and cook them anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes. And that is the difference between a biscuit and a dropped biscuit. The liquid is the only thing that does it. That's the only thing that changes it. Nothing else does. So listen, I hope this information helps you. I was making herb drop biscuits, but I ended up making biscuits. Oh well. Anyway, I went to show you how to do it, but next time I make drop biscuits, you will see them. But that is it. Remember, all these things, be it cookies, be it cakes, be it muffins, be it scones, be it biscuits, whatever, they have a basic ratio, and once you know that ratio, you can run with it and do anything. So listen, you take care and have a great day.